Hello and welcome to the first of our 3 video series, 3 Steps to Health, How to Boost Immunity Under Your Own Roof. My name is Iza.
And I'm Kasia.
And we have prepared this video for you because we are absolutely passionate about health and well-being.
In the first video, we will tell you how you can take care of your immunity on the intestinal level.
In the second video, we will share with you why it is so important to keep the stomach acidic.
And in the third video, we will tell you what to do to maintain overall good health condition and balance of your body and mind.
And now we have some questions for you. Do you often get colds or recurring infections?
Or do you feel that your immunity is compromised and you don't really know how to help yourself? On a daily basis, we see clients who are dealing with such problems. They eat well, they take vitamins, minerals, and they don't feel great. Some of them, they've conducted a laboratory blood test. The results were nearly perfect, but yet they don't really feel well.
And in these situations, we always think about the gut. Have you thought about your gut? Did you know that your immunity, not even that, your happiness is born right there? It is a fact that about 80% of our immunity lies in our intestines, and this is why it is said that the gut is our second brain.
And today we've got very good news for you. We will tell you that you can boost your immunity under your own roof, and you can do that by doing 3 things, which is
cleansing the intestine, it is sealing the intestine, and nourishing the intestine. Okay, so let's start with step number 1, cleansing of the intestine. There are different methods that you can use or try to cleanse your intestine. The one that we would like to share with you today, that is something that we really like and something that we both practice, and that's intermittent fasting 16/8.
16 hours of non-eating, 8 hours of eating.
That's right. So 16 hours, we can sleep, we can walk, we can do absolutely everything.
And we can drink. We can drink.
We have to drink.
We have to drink, yes.
Yes, it is very, very paramount to hydrate the body. And water is not enough to do that. It has to be water with a pinch of Himalayan salt.
With minerals. The Himalayan salt gives minerals to the water, and mineralized water hydrates the body on a cellular level. Not mineralized water rinse the minerals out of our body.
That's right. We can drink tea, we can drink coffee. However, it is very important not to use any milk, because milk is considered food and that interrupts the fasting. Within the 8 hours of eating, we encourage you to eat good food, which is ideally, if possible, organic, homemade, definitely not processed food.
Yes, and also we encourage you to eliminate or reduce carbohydrate.
Yes, what we like to add to it is LCHF, which is low carbs, high fat. Okay, let's move on. Step number 2
is something what we are prepared to explain visually. So this is about intestine and how to seal intestine.
Seal? So do they have holes?
Yes, they do. They have holes. This is a healthy intestine and looks like a sieve with little small holes. And this is the leaky intestine,
which is a colander with the big holes.
And sealing the intestine means making the intestine with little holes. So the processes are going back to an original condition.
Mm-hmm. So what makes holes in the intestine? What makes them so unhealthy? The factor number 1 is gluten. Everyone says gluten, but really it is all about lectins, which are the plant proteins.
Yes, gluten is everywhere, is well known, but not everyone is aware that gluten can absolutely damage our body, damage our immunity, and there are two main risks of that. If we are consuming gluten on the long term, our intestines are becoming leaky, and when the intestines are leaky, minerals, vitamins are not being absorbed, so we are getting weaker and we are not nourished properly. And secondly, our intestinal toxins are going to the bloodstream, and with the blood traveling and settling down in various parts of our body.
Yes, let's maybe mention why this gluten is so toxic, because 50 years ago, 70 years ago, no one has ever heard about gluten being toxic. No one was thinking about, do I eat bread or do I not eat bread? It is a problem these days, and the reason why that is because the food has been genetically modified on a big scale, massive scale, which makes gluten, all the lectins, really toxic to the body. In addition to that, we use pesticides, we use chemicals, which doesn't help.
So in the flour which you buy in the shop, you have all sorts of other ingredients which are not processed in our body. We simply don't have enzymes to break down those proteins or the chemicals to get rid of it.
The good news is there is an alternative to that, and that is spelt flour. Spelt flour, however, it has to be from an ancient grain, which means it's not genetically modified.
And it has to be from well-known source.
Yes.
There's a lot of products on the market, and not all of them are very good. So we encourage you to search for a good organic farm where there is a little of chemicals being used, and where they plant Asian grain.
Yes, and the spelt flour, it is not only that it doesn't harm the intestine, but it actually heals the intestine. So we encourage you to swap your normal flour for the spelt flour if you can't get rid of bread and pasta just like that.
That's right. So let's move on. The third step which you can do is nourishing your body. And what that means? That means eat well, but because we are talking about the intestine, we want to teach you how you can nourish your intestine, and in a way, how you can build up the microbiome in your intestine, so to help to improve your immunity.
Yes, the microbiome is very, very important. The intestinal microbiome, which contains billions of bacteria and fungi,
which are all necessary, and we need them. We've got about 3 kilograms of the microbiome in our guts.
Well, definitely more. There are more bacteria than our own body cells.
But where the problem becomes, so what we are talking about, dysbiosis.
Intestinal dysbiosis, which is basically when the bacteria start overgrowing. When they overgrown, they don't have space in the intestine where they should be, and they start coming out, and they can get to different organs in the body, absolutely everywhere. What is causing the intestinal dysbiosis? The factor number one will be stress.
That's right.
Stress can lower our immunity by 50% within just a couple of hours.
That's right.
Second
factor, the antibiotics are massively taken and prescribed nowadays. The antibiotics are carrying a massive risks of killing the positive bacteria as well as negative bacteria in our guts.
But also, of course, processed food, chemicals, pesticides, and so on. So what to do to keep your intestinal microbiome in a good shape? We suggest fermented food. and that is anything fermented such as sauerkraut,
Cucumbers, kimchi, sambuca,
yeah,
and our famous, which we want to share with you today, would be fermented beetroot juice.
Yes, at the end of this video you will get a full recipe how to make it. All you need is beetroots, and ideally again organic, good quality beetroots,
Some herbs,
water, and a glass jar. It is very important not to use plastic containers.
and within 5 to 7 days,
Yes.
you can make a fermented beetroot juice at home. The beetroot juice doesn't only nourish your intestine, it's also a fantastic source of iron, which we will encourage you to drink on a regular basis to maintain good health.
Take a look at the recipe now at the end of this film. We really hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting. We encourage you to start making your beetroot juice, fermented beetroot juice, and we hope to see you in our second video.
Keep well and healthy, and see you soon.
Thank you.